Hi to everyone once again. So we will start our webinar and let me introduce the speaker at first, Mr. Manibul Hassan, and he's currently a exchange student to on Erasmus Technical University in Dresden in Germany, and he is also pursuing his PhD in chemical engineering ANSO Scholar in Beijing, and his institute is Institute of Process Engineering, and he also did his master's in chemical engineering as well on ANSO Scholarship, and he is also the excellent student. He also get the award from his institute, and he published a good paper as well. So today we will focus on the ANSO Scholarship, which is the highly paid scholarship in China and one of the prestigious University of Chinese Academy of Sciences and University of Science and Technology, China. The both university offers this scholarship, and this year CAS-ANSO UNESCO also added 40 more seats. So rather than explaining by myself, I would like to invite Mr. Munib come to the stage and let's start presenting today. And I hope you all will learn so much and you will all get benefit. Thank you so much. Hi, Munib.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for your introduction. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's seminar about the CAS-ANSO Scholarship for Young Talents. And I will try to cover the program overview and the application guidelines for the ANSO Scholarship. So, as already introduced by Mr. 𝘾𝙼𝙎-𝘼𝙎, please confirm, can you see my second slide with title
Uh,
self-introduction?
yeah, title slide I can see in the university web. Yeah, yeah, self-introduction. Yeah, it's
Okay.
okay.
Okay, thanks. So as already introduced by Mr. Hunan, that I'm currently doing exchange at Technical University Dresden, and I'm regular PhD student at the Institute of Process Engineering, Chinese Academy of Sciences. So this is the outline of today's presentation. We will discuss about why we should pursue masters and PhD from China. And then I will introduce UCAS, USDC, and ANSU, what these phrases stand for, and the detail about how we can apply for ANSU scholarship and which documents are required for this purpose. So first of all, why should we choose China for our higher studies and to pursue masters and PhD scholarship? Here you can see the list of universities and research institutions published by the Nature Index in 2025. If you see over here, the Chinese Academy of Sciences is ranked among top globally, and the other two universities we are going to discuss today, University of Science and Technology of China, USDC, and University of Chinese Academy of Sciences, UCAS China, they are all already included in this list as well. If you see over here, the change of Chinese universities or other universities, you can see for Chinese Academy of Sciences, UCAS and USDC as well, their progress is improving every year and on the annual basis. So in future, you can expect that these leading research institutes will maintain their position and you can get your enrolled in leading research institution to progress and make contribution to the scientific field. Talking about the other reasons, the first thing we consider while applying to a university is their ranking. So among top 100 universities ranked in 2026 by Times Higher Education, as you can see, Tsinghua University, Peking University, they are ranked among top 100 universities, and the University of Science and Technology, which offers ANSU scholarship, is listed as number 51. So if you choose China, then you will get a chance to study in globally top ranked universities. and Chinese universities have advanced research laboratories and research facilities. And the most important thing for students from Pakistan and other developing countries, that China offers various fully funded scholarships, and there's no strict admission requirements for like some European and US and Canadian countries. They have high requirement of IELTS as well as GRE requirements, so there is no such things in China. About the safety of students, China is very secure with regard to the like safety and security. Environment is very safe to study, and the last and the most important thing, that Pakistan and China have good relationships. So strong and friendly relationship between China and Pakistan also help us to get and secure a good position in some Chinese university. Coming towards the introduction to UCAS, so UCAS basically stands for, as I mentioned earlier, University of Chinese Academy of Sciences. It has main campus located in Beijing, and on the very first page that I listed, on the title page, the aerial view of campus was shown, which was like located in 𝘋𝙧 district, and that was campus of University of Chinese Academy of Sciences. And the UCAS offers ANSO scholarship. And yes, of course, there are some subcategories, as we will discuss in coming slides, UNESCO, CAS-2S, and CAS UNESCO scholarships as well. Other than ANSO, UCAS offers Chinese government scholarships, CSE, university fully funded and university partially funded scholarships. With regard to the which majors are available in UCAS, basically UCAS has around 110 research institutions across different cities in China, and each institution has its own major and field in which they are working, and they enroll their students. For example, you can see Institute of Biology located in Chengdu City, Institute of Electrical Engineering, Institute of Organic Chemistry in Shanghai, Institute of Physics in Beijing, Chemical Physics in Dalian, Nanoscience and Technology in Beijing, and Institute of Computing Technology located in Beijing as well. So almost every field of studies is covered in different institutes of the UCAS, and you can find your major related to either life sciences, physical sciences, mathematics, engineering, IT, and even there are some institutes for economics and management sciences as well. Next is USTC. USTC basically stands for University of Science and Technology China, and its main campus is located in Hefei city, which is located in Anhui province, and it offers same scholarship as UCAS, and it also has some various sub-campus or research institution in different cities of China, like School of Chemistry and Material Science, Hefei Institute of Physical Sciences, Science and Technology Institute, and Institute of Energy Conversion. So if you belong to any major, your major is either physical sciences, life sciences, engineering, you can find your desired institute in these two universities. And from last slide, UCAS is like ranked among, was included in the QS ranking for the first time, and its global ranking was 362 back in 2025. And if we talk about the global ranking of University of Science and Technology according to QS ranking, the previous ranking I showed on previous slide was Times Higher Education, and this is QS ranking, and is USDC is ranked number 132 among globally ranked universities. So, what is CAS-ANSO? CAS-ANSO basically, it was previously known as ANSO Scholarship, and it was introduced in 2019 with the goal of training and cultivating young scientists from all around the world. And the ANSO stand for Alliance of International Science Organization, and every year under ANSO Scholarship, they enroll 100 to 200 master students and 300 PhD students. And these 300 positions include the 40 positions for CAS-2S or CAS UNESCO positions as well. And this scholarship, which is known as CAS-ANSO Scholarship, is only offered in limited universities which are University of Science and Technology USTC, and University of Chinese Academy of Sciences UCAS. Or other than these, there are some research-based institutes which are known as Chinese Academy of Sciences. Research centers are basically, some research centers are located are under the USTC, some are under UCAS, but there are some institutions that they have their own independent existence. So they are known as Institute of Chinese Academy of Sciences. So in these three universities, you can enroll and you can apply under ANSO scholarship. If we talk about the financial coverage, what we get if we secure ANSO scholarship, then for master's and PhD program, you are waived off from your tuition fees. You don't have to pay any tuition fees during your studies. Your health insurance is covered during your studies in China and during your stay in China. And you don't have to pay application fees, which is, I guess, around 600 RMB for your scholarship application. And then if you are traveling for the first time to China as a student, then you will get one-way travel allowance as well,
Depending on
which
whether
is,
he has qualification test arranged.
please mute
इसलिए
yourself.
आंसू मैंने फ्लाइट कार देती है चला देती हूँ यहाँ से उसका अलग ही पाए मैं उस अभी चलाई बैठा
Okay, sorry about that. So if you are traveling for the first time, you will get one-way travel allowance, which is for Pakistani student, I guess, is around 3,000 RMB. So it's enough for your one-way flight. And you also get one-time visa or residence permit, which is around 400 RMB for one time that you have to pay every year. Other than these benefits, talking about the monthly stipend for PhD scholarships, you have 6,000 RMB per month available. And if you pass the qualification exam, which is conducted in second semester, then this scholarship amount is raised to 7,000 RMB per month. For master students, the stipend is 3,000 RMB and it is like offered for 36 months. And for PhD, the maximum duration of funding is 48 months. So next question is how we can apply for CAS-ANSO scholarship and what is the eligibility criteria for this kind of scholarship. So if you go through these points, then you will find there is no major requirement for the ANSO scholarship except your age. And for the PhD program, you should be born after 1st January 1991. And for the master applicants, the date of birth should be after 1996. And once you are awarded with the ANSO scholarship, you cannot do part-time job in China during your stay. Like in some European and US countries, you have like 20 hours of week work allowed on your visa, but there is no such kind of thing in China. If you are studying master's or PhD on ANSO scholarship, you are not allowed to do any part-time job or take any other assignment during your scholarship duration. Except this, there are some eligibility. You have to meet the eligibility criteria of the universities as well. And if I talk generally about for these two universities, their requirement is almost same as these. But for some other research institute, they have their own additional requirements, and these include ranking or language proficiency requirement as well. For example, if I talk about my own institute, that is Institute of Process Engineering, Chinese Academy of Sciences, for the 2026 intake, they have added an additional 2-point requirements. IP impose the following specific eligibility criteria. The first one is academic performance that include your minimum CGPA, like you must have CGPA of 3 or above in both your undergraduate and postgraduate studies if you are applying for master's and PhD. With regard to the university ranking, your last attended university, that could be either master's and PhD bachelor's university, should be ranked top 800 globally or within top 5 in your own country. And these are specific 5 universities from Pakistan that are included in this ranking. So if you apply at Institute of Process Engineering, except the other requirements, you have to meet these two requirements as well. And another example in this regard is Institute of Chemistry. As you can see, their master's and PhD call for 2026 intake, they required English language proficiency that could be in the form of TOEFL or GRE. And I think they accept the IELTS as well. And the minimum score they are requiring is around 6, if I'm not wrong. So the other requirement is that your last university should be ranked top 500 in 2025 World University Ranking, and they have specified the agencies from which they accept the ranking of your university. So even if you get acceptance from your supervisor and you are meet the eligibility criteria of UCAS and USTC, you have to make sure that you also fulfill the requirement of your research institute where you are going to pursue your PhD or master scholarship studies. The next part is about the required documents, and these are almost same documents as required by the other scholarships that include your CV and passport with at least 1 year of validity. And the language proficiency certificate already explained, you can use English language proficiency certificate obtained from your university or your college as well, or you have to provide IELTS or TOEFL if it is required by your research institution. Another requirement is letter of motivation and study plan. I will discuss these documents one by one in coming slides. And then you need 2 recommendation letters. If you have any publication, you can include either full PDF or you can just only add first page of your publication. And then supervisor acceptance form. For PhD and MS, you need to submit your degree and transcript as well. But if you are in your last semester or you did not receive your degree certificate, like some universities in Pakistan, they have like a requirement that you should be, you can apply for degree after 2 months of your graduation. So you can submit a pre-graduation certificate that clearly mentions about your expected date when you can receive your degree. These are the requirement for ANSO scholarship and UCAS as well. For the USTC, you need 2 additional documents. These include foreigner physical examination form, that is a kind of medical form that you have to attest from the MS of a public hospital. And the other thing is police clearance certificate that you can get from Police Khidmat Center of any city in Pakistan. So the first thing is about the supervisor acceptance form. There are many students asking, is acceptance is compulsory? So I will share the exact wording from UCAS and USTC guidelines. If we talk about the UCAS guidelines, they specifically mention the supervisor acceptance form is supplementary application materials. That means if you don't have acceptance letter for UCAS, you can still submit your application. But applicants are encouraged to contact potential supervisor before applying. UCAS is saying that you should contact your potential supervisor. And if you have the acceptance form available from your supervisor, you should upload it, the acceptance form on the online portal as well. So this is the requirement of UCAS. Talking about USTC, this year they specified there is no need for finding a host supervisor while applying online. So this is clear-cut requirement mentioned by the USDC. You don't need to approach any supervisor for your master's or PhD application. Your documents will be reviewed and sent to your school and department for their references. Then you will, for USDC, you will have a written examination as well. And then you will, maybe there will be interview as well. So there's like kind of 2-phase admission for USDC. First, they will conduct your written examination. After that, they will conduct your interview. And at the end, they will send your profile to the prospective professors. And if professor agreed with your profile and he consider you as a potential or prospective student, then you will be provided with the acceptance at that stage. But except these guidelines, I will highly recommend, and based on my own experience, it is better if you have acceptance letter of either if you are applying for UCAS or USTC. If you have acceptance letter and you apply for scholarship, that does not guarantee your scholarship either. But If you have acceptance and you are applying for the scholarship, the chances to secure scholarship becomes more and more higher. And if you apply without acceptance, then uh, it totally depends on your luck that you can get accepted due to high competition and like number of applicants from different countries in the world. I would recommend if you have acceptance, then that would be more beneficial for you. If you are applying for master's or PhD without application, without acceptance letter, I would stop here to mention this specifically point. Then you have to make sure one thing, and that is which master program you are applying, you are going to apply. You need to complete your application form with your desired major and degree program, and you have to make sure that you meet the eligibility requirement of that program. Specifically, you have to check the language requirement. For example, the master's program offered by the USDC, University of Science and Technology, in English language are only a very few courses. As you can see, astronomy, atmospheric science, geology, and some major related to physics, and one major is Master of Business Administration. You cannot see any subject here related to life sciences, biology, botany, zoology, or even chemistry, or even IT. So if you submit your master's application for ANSO scholarship in USDC in some major which is not mentioned here, that means you have to provide your proficiency for the Chinese language. Otherwise, your application will be rejected. And for the Chinese language proficiency, they have requirement of HSK 4 or 5. So make sure if you are applying without acceptance, you meet the eligibility criteria for that specific program. Okay, continuing with the documents required for the scholarship, the first important thing is about your CV. I would discourage to include too much information which is totally irrelevant to your major or your uh, program which you are applying for. And the other thing you can read over here, like you have to avoid such mistakes, and you need to ignore and carefully check your grammar mistakes as well. Poor formatting, there is no standard format of CV for the UCAS applicants, but you have to make sure the format you are using is up to date and is meet the international standard requirement of your CV. Too long CVs, I have seen some CVs for master student like 4 or 5 pages. That doesn't make any sense if you don't have any relevant experience. Like if you are applying for masters in chemistry or physics and you are adding that you are freelancer, you are doing a virtual assistant, you are doing Upwork, and you are active on Facebook, you are active on Twitter and other social media platforms. These are the things that not going to help out in your application. So try avoid these things. And some students forget to add reference, so make sure you add reference, proper reference in your CV as well. Okay, things to do include the most important information at the top and include dates. There are some students who add their irrelevant work experience on the top, then they list their education and academic background at the like number 3 or number 4 heading. So you have to make sure which information is important for you, and you have to list top on the CV. If you have carried out any research activity, then it's not compulsory that you have published some paper. If you did some project, you worked on some review article during your bachelor's or master's, you have to include that, and you must add some details to that in 2 to 3 lines. Then the techniques learned during your bachelor's or master program, that should be included in your CV as well. Okay, before going further, we have 10 minutes left for this session, and if this session ends, then you can rejoin from the same link provided in the groups from where you previously joined. So this is an announcement, and if you have question, you can put in the next session. So we will have a question answer session at the end. Talking about the research proposal or study plan, for the master's applicants, I would recommend 3 to 5 pages of research plan, and for PhD applications, applicants, I would recommend 5 to 7 pages of research proposal. So basically, your research topic is assigned by your supervisor if you have acceptance, and if you don't have acceptance, you can choose your research topic by yourself. And the outline of the research proposal is like you begin with the research background and emphasize on the significance and of your topic and outline the current challenges that your topic has. Then in 2 to 3 paragraphs, you cover the literature review. These 2 to 3 paragraphs are like basically for masters. PhD applicants can adjust the length and the paragraphs according to their topic requirement as well. So then you have to add literature review. Then research plan or research methodology, 1 to 2 paragraph for this section. You discuss about your methodology you are going to work on, and secondly, you can explain how and where you plan to apply these molecule process and methods and what's the output or application of your method. Then list the objectives, 3 to 4 key objectives of your research. Then here you have to connect your research objective with your research background. In research background, you have mentioned some problem about your topic and the challenges currently scientific community is facing. And in your research objective, you have to address those challenges, that how your contribution is going to solve those challenges. Then add a timeline, and you can allocate like 2 months for the literature review, 2 months for the material preparation, data collection, characterization techniques, drafting research articles, refining result, writing thesis. It's totally flexible, and you can, like, if you are applying for masters, you can adjust like 3 years of your master degree according to such plans. And for master student, you can include 1 year coursework for the first 2 semesters. And for PhD, you can include 1 semester of coursework and then the remaining time duration for your research activities timeline. At the end, you need to include references, and I would suggest use some proper referencing tool like EndNote or Mendeley and APA style format or any other standard publication reference style you can use for your references. So this is a very general layout of research plan. There's no standard format for the ANSO scholarship about the research or study plan. You can follow this pattern to make your research plan. Another thing is letter of motivation. Again, there is no standard format required by the university. And this should include your purpose of studying in China, your academic background, why you are applying to this university and why you are applying for China, your study plan, which is like kind of your research proposal, which will begin on the next page, and what you want to do after your master's or PhD. And if you have any research experience, you can include in your letter of motivation. For MS application, I would suggest that this letter should be concluded within a page. And for PhD applications, it should be less than 2 pages. And after this, you have to merge for UCAS letter of motivation and research plan together in one PDF file. And you can begin with the letter of motivation first. And on the very next page, you can start with your research plan, and you can end and conclude this with your references in one single PDF. The last heading I would like to discuss before ending this session and starting a new one is recommendation letter. This is something that we ignore mostly. Here you can see two samples for the recommendation letter. This one is 1 paragraph recommendation, and it includes general statement like the student is intelligent, well behaved, keen in learning, and is hardworking, blah blah. So this 1 paragraph recommendation letter is not enough for your scholarship application. And here, if you see over here, that includes your paragraph 1, then paragraph 2, 3, and 4. It's a kind of proper recommendation letter that you will need for your application. And I would suggest that most of the students ignore this and they just draft a reference letter and send it to teachers and they sign it and they just upload. Even they don't check for the spell mistake or grammar mistakes. This is the most important, I would say, a kind of your reference letter that your teacher is providing for you. So it should be a kind of proper document that should be presented by your previous supervisor or by your teachers to the scholarship committee. And this recommendation letter should be from associate professor or full professor from your last university, or it could be from some other university as well. Avoid the recommendation letter from lecturer or assistant professor. That might not be accepted and your application might be returned back to you to upload again, or maybe your application is rejected during the initial review process. And as I mentioned, the content is very important. You have to make sure that your recommendation letter contains 2 to 3 paragraphs and it describes your qualities and your experience from your teachers. Scholarship selection on portal. You can select all the scholarships. Here you can see this screenshot from over here. The first one is Chinese government scholarship. You can click it, and if you have to apply for Chinese government scholarship separately. And I will start this slide from this slide again. We have only 1 minute left for this session. I will stop here, and after 1 minute, I will request that you guys can join this session again, and we will continue our discussion from here. So you guys can leave, and after 1 minute, you can join this session again.